Good morning.
Good morning, dear.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, dear. Okay, girls. Good morning and welcome. Let's see. Okay, girls. Now, before I start, any questions regarding chapter 8? Anything you girls want me to like either talk about again or go over or any relationship that you still want me to clarify? You know, as I said yesterday, okay, let's just try just okay, look at the that's okay, questions related to chapter number 8. So we can it's okay to start off with okay, yes. And okay, so let's go to page 126. Okay, I guess okay, the first 18 questions are true and false. Now, the acoustic impedance of the matching layer is approximately the same as the acoustic impedance of skin. Yeah, that's false. Okay. Okay. And again, it's okay, as I said, just remember this one here. Or we can say approximately equal. Let's do it this way. There we say, okay, these two here were approximately equal. PCT, but that was greater than, okay, as the matching layer, which was greater than gel, which was greater than skin. Clear? Okay, so that's okay. that of, okay, as your matching layer and skin cannot be the same, or not even approximately the same. Okay, so that's false. Question number 2. They say it's okay. Imaging transducers are usually high rather than low bandwidth or bandwidth. Right? Okay, so maybe it's okay. Just asking, does an imaging transducer have a high bandwidth? And that is true. Why? Okay, first you can say it's okay. Imaging transducer is okay. They also have backing material. One of the consequences of backing material was going to be having a great bandwidth. Okay. And now goes just another thing, because okay, yes, you can be asked similar questions about, you can say it's okay, a continuous wave transducer. Now just keep in mind that okay, this one is going to be it's okay, we know it's okay, a non-imaging transducer. Okay. Now what did we say is okay? We said okay, yes, these fellows here is okay, have no backing material. Okay, so what you mean is okay, can be asked about like okay, yes, what would be as okay the 3 characteristics or consequences of having no backing material. And that's just going to be as okay the complete opposite of the 3 consequences of having back material, where we here said is okay, it had okay as a low sensitivity. So for a non-imaging transducer or for a continuous wave transducer, mainly because there's no backing material, these will have high sensitivity. Just like here is okay, in an imaging transducer, we said that they have okay as a broad bandwidth. Okay. But for your non-imaging transducer or a transducer with no backing materials, okay, they will have a narrow bandwidth. Clear? And it's okay from the narrow bandwidth, and or it's okay from the last one, which for me is okay was that they had okay as a low quality factor. But which means okay was because of the broad bandwidth. Here you have a narrow bandwidth. That's okay. That means that you say you have a high quality factor. Okay, so these 3 yes okay here are going to be yes okay. We can say it's okay the consequences of not having a backing material, which we mean is okay we'll see in continuous wave transducer, also known as non-imaging transducers, or as okay therapeutic transducer, or they may even go and say it's okay continuous wave Doppler transducers. This fellow here is okay, we'll talk a bit more about. It's okay in chapter 19. But the main thing that they still talk about is going to yes, okay, saying yes, okay. These are non-imaging, so you should mean okay, just be able to recall yes, okay, what we talked about in chapter 8. Okay, non-imaging that mean they have no backing material. Once they say they have no backing material, you will mean yes, okay, see this list here. That's going to make them have okay as great sensitivity, have a narrow bandwidth, and a high Q factor. Yeah, okay. But yes, okay, it is mentioned, so that's okay, just the opposite of having yes, okay, a backing material is going to be as okay, be the characteristics or consequences of not having a backing material. Did that make sense? Or as a matter of fact, just look at the next question, question 3, where it means it says, okay, there's high Q factor transducers. Okay, or very high Q factor. Okay, that's fine. Very high Q factor transducers is used more and often in diagnostic imaging than transducers with a low Q factor. So which of these two here, so if you say a high Q factor versus low Q factor, which of these two here is going to be used for diagnostic imaging? Now, for diagnostic imaging, the main thing that we need is an image. Okay, for that we may use pulsed wave transducers, which has a backing material. So that's due to the backing material, is going to be a low quality factor transducer. Okay, but here they are asking us, are we using a high Q factor transducer more often than a low Q factor transducer for diagnostic imaging? No. So that makes it false. Had they just flipped it around and says, low Q factor transducer is used more often than high Q factor transducers in diagnostic imaging, then as your statement would have been true. Did that make sense? Did that make sense, girls?
Yes.
Good. Okay. But likewise, yes, this same question here can be asked about different things. They can say it's great sensitivity versus low sensitivity. Okay, so as I said, a transducer with a low sensitivity is more often used for diagnostic imaging than the high sensitivity. Okay, so again, so just by flipping it around, the statement may go from becoming true to become false, or false to become true. Clear? Okay. So if they say is this here often used for diagnostic imaging versus this, then that would be false. Whereas if they go and say do you more often use a low sensitivity transducer for diagnostic imaging than a high sensitivity transducer, then it becomes true. And so for your bandwidth. Clear? Okay. Did you girls get that? Did you girls get that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Question number 5. Now, a pulse with a long pulse duration is likely going to have, a narrow bandwidth. So, and just again, as I say, that note that you had on, as page, I think it was 118 or something like that. Yes, 118. That anything with, as a shorter duration is going to have a broader bandwidth. Clear? Where, as anything with a longer duration is going to have a narrower bandwidth. Is that clear? So you can still say it's okay, two pulses with two different durations. Let's say it's okay. One pulse has a pulse duration of, let's say it's okay, 4 microseconds. Right, okay. Versus just okay, a pulse with a pulse duration of, that just says okay, 6 microseconds. Okay, so you can be given something like this, and they may say, well, okay, which of these two here has the broadest bandwidth or narrowest bandwidth? For many, it's okay, just from this statement here, it's okay. You can get that and say, well, okay, the one with the shortest pulse duration, which is 4 microseconds, that's going to be the one that has the greatest bandwidth. Whereas the one which has a longer pulse is going to just okay have a lesser bandwidth. Okay, although yes, okay, these two here are still going to be as okay pulses. Where you can say as okay, if you talk about as okay, continuous wave where all time is on time, it's okay, that is going to have the lowest bandwidth. Did that make sense? So the main is okay, just want to make sure by asking this question here, do you or did you, yes, okay, read that note on page 118? But the same question can be asked in different ways, or the same thing can be asked, or it can be checked on the same concept as okay, putting question in a different way. Okay, or they may say it's okay, you have two bandwidths. Let's say that okay, the bandwidth for this one here was 16 megahertz, and the bandwidth for this one here was, let's say it's okay, 8 megahertz. Now they may ask yes, okay, which of these two here is going to, yes, okay, if you have two transducers with these bandwidths here, which of these two here is most likely, yes, okay, going to be an imaging transducer and or a non-imaging transducer. So you mean as okay, may establish that based on your you can say yes, okay, bandwidths. That the higher the bandwidth, that's more likely going to be as okay pulse, which is going to be as okay a shorter pulse, and that's most likely going to be ideal for diagnostic imaging. There, okay, as the greater duration of on time, or that's okay, and a pulse is going to be as okay. Having a lower bandwidth. Okay, so lower bandwidth most likely is going to be as like a more likely to be as okay, either as okay have too long of a pulse or a continuous wave. But based on these frequencies here, you cannot tell, but you can maybe say okay, bandwidths. Okay. But you can maybe say okay, the one with the greatest bandwidth is most likely because it has a shorter pulse. So that's going to be as okay more ideal for diagnostic imaging versus just okay a higher frequency or higher bandwidth transducer. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So yes, okay, the same thing can be asked, or okay, the same constant that can be asked about in different ways. Clear? Okay, question number 5. Now, the damping material of a transducer increases the sensitivity. Now, just look here, girls. They don't use the word backing material. They use the other word that we said was damping material. So that's why I told you guys, that's okay. You have to know that, okay, yes, the backing material was also known as a damping material. Clear? If you don't know that, now, okay, yes, you're going to be lost. You may not know what damping material is. Okay, you may think of it as, okay, as the backing layer, or sorry, what do you call it, the matching layer or something. Okay. So maybe as, okay, what they're just asking us is the backing material, is that going to give us a increased sensitivity? And again, yes, okay, as I said, yes, okay, the consequences of your backing material was not increased sensitivity, but rather increased sensitivity. So that means, yes, okay, because they're giving this as an option, your answer or this statement here is false. Had it been the same question saying, yes, okay, decreased sensitivity, then the answer would have been, or then the statement here would have been true. Did that make sense? Right, okay. Question number 6. Damping material in a transducer increases the pulse length. And that is as false as it can be. Clear? Okay. The whole purpose of, yes, okay, what you can say is, okay, the damping material. Or we also, yes, okay, could call it, okay, the backing material. Primarily was that, okay, yes, that continuous frequency of, okay, yes, your electrical signal when it comes to the no, sorry, to the PCT. Okay. That, okay, as a lot of the frequencies is, okay, or this frequency that were even to, is, okay, equal to the frequency of your electrical signal. A lot of those signals are going to, yes, okay, be absorbed or damped or cooled down by the backing material. Okay, and that means, yes, okay, causes from going to, from a continuous wave to actually, it's okay, just go fire off in pulses. Okay. Then, okay, as on the other side, you can also say, okay, that's going to just, okay, increase. Of course, that's okay, we have an increased bandwidth. And as a result of increased bandwidth, that's okay, what we will have is shorter pulse durations. Okay, so that's okay, as we said, the pulse duration was just, okay, determined by the transducer. Clear? All dependent upon, is okay, how much backing material that they put into it. So damping material in a transducer, yes, okay, decreases. Okay, so it decreases the pulse duration. Okay. And that will be true. What is it? Okay, increases the pulse duration. Yes, okay. So that was false. Okay. At this is rather doing the opposite. It's going to, yes, okay, decrease the pulse duration. So they say decrease the pulse duration, then that would be true. Did that make sense? Did that make sense, girls?
Yes.
Good. Question number 7. Okay. Now, damping material in a transducer decreases the pulse duration. We just did that. Just means it's okay. The opposite of question 6 is question 7. Just ask the same thing, but just oppositely. Okay. Yeah. Question number 8. Okay. Well, that's a little bit too soon, but anyways, okay. Damping material in a transducer improves the lateral resolution of improves the system's lateral resolution. Now, lateral resolution is something that we immediately talk about in chapter number 9, 10. Clear? Okay. But what we mean is you can see that yes, no. The main resolution that is going to be because it's pulse dependent is going to be what we will call an axial resolution. Okay, very mainly we'll say as a shorter pulse will lead to a better axial resolution, whereas as a longer pulse is going to lead to a poorer axial resolution. Okay, but the resolution that they talk about here, which is what we call as a lateral resolution, that is mean is going to be as what we can call as beam dependent. Now, first of all, is what a beam is. That's something that we talk about on Monday in chapter number 9. Clear? Okay. Where we can mean is if we have a narrower beam, that is going to be as a better lateral resolution, whereas if we have a wider beam, that's going to lead to a poor lateral resolution. Okay, so these are two different resolutions. Okay, so this question is is going to become more as clear on once we talk about beam, once we talk about the different resolutions here. Question number 8. Question number 9. Damping material in a transducer. Okay. Again, yes, resolution. Now, when they say longitudinal resolution, that is mean it's just another name for your axial resolution. Okay, so damping material in a transducer is improves that system's longitudinal resolution. Right. So yes, longitudinal resolution is just the same as what we just said was an axial resolution. Clear? Okay. And well, both of these resolutions here are better or better or better. It just means just two names for the same thing. If we have a shorter pulse. Clear? Just as I said on the previous slide. Okay. That the shorter the pulse, the better is going to be the longitudinal resolution, also known as the axial resolution. Okay. Is that clear? Okay. And how do we get a shorter pulse? Mainly that's we can say due to a greater bandwidth. because it's okay, greater bandwidth, shorter pulse. Shorter pulse, better longitudinal resolution, better axial resolution, better angular resolution, better radial resolution, and better depth resolution. So these are all going to be different names for what we primarily call our axial resolution. Question number 10. Okay. The damping material in a transducer decreases the bandwidth. And that was false. We call it damping material, also known as the backing material. What it did was it increased your bandwidth. Clear. So that's okay. If it said that it decreases the bandwidth, that makes it false. Had it said increased bandwidth, that's okay. Then that would have been true. Clear. So you can see it's okay. A lot of questions asked about the consequences of backing material, right? The damping material in a transducer reduces or decreases the quality factor. Whatever factor of as your backing material or damping material that as our quality factor was reduced. That was true. Clear. Had it said the opposite, that will increase, that the backing material will increase your Q factor. No, that would have been false. Clear? Okay. But the main reason for backing material leading to a low quality factor is because of the great bandwidth, where we made just still say that bandwidth was inversely proportional to quality factor. Right, okay, where we had or if we had a great bandwidth, just we will end up with a low quality factor. Or vice versa. Right, okay. Where do we most likely have is narrow bandwidth and high quality factor? That's going to be in non-imaging transducers or continuous wave transducers. Where the blue relationship we mean is is in imaging transducer, or what we also can say is we pulse wave transducers. Did that make sense? Did that make sense, girls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Question number 12. Now just be watchful here because yes. Now what do they say? If the frequency of electrical excitation of a pulsed wave transducer is 6 megahertz. So what does this first statement here tell us? That yes, the frequency of the electrical energy is 6 megahertz. Then the operating frequency of the transducer is also 6 megahertz. So would it be correct to say that the frequency of the transducer here also is going to be 6 megahertz. Now, the reason that this is false here because they specified that, say, this transducer is not any transducer, it is a pulse transducer. So since it says pulse transducer, that makes this statement here false. That makes sense. Because that concept of, okay, the electrical signal being equal to, or we can say it's okay, the frequency of the electrical signal being equal to, yes, okay, the frequency of the transducer is only true if this would have been, okay, as a continuous wave transducer. But that's not what it said in the question. The question mainly states that, okay, yes, that, okay, if the frequency of an electrical excitation of a pulsed wave transducer. Clear? Did that make sense? So yes, okay, that is mainly, yes, okay, what made the difference here? Clear? Had it said a continuous wave transducer, then yes, okay, that statement would have been true. But then you also have to make sure that, okay, yes, the frequencies are alike. Okay, it's not going to be true if it said that, okay, yes, this was okay as a frequency of 60 megahertz, and okay, as the frequency of the transducer is going to be 6 megahertz. Yeah, so yes, okay, this frequency and this frequency is okay, they have to match when they talk of a pulsed wave transducer, a continuous wave transducer, for the statement to be true. Clear? Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Question number 13. What a wonderful number. Now, if the pulse repetition frequency of a transducer is increased, so what the mean says, okay, if we increase the PRF, we increase the PRF. Is the frequency of the transducer still the same? And that's true. Because what was the frequency of the transducer? That was just going to be, okay, how many cycles was it that this transducer has, okay, will produce in a second? Or you can say, it's okay, had a pulse or had the sound wave being recorded for a second. The number of cycles that are completed in that second is going to be, it's okay, the frequency. But that remains the same, whether, yes, okay, you increase the PRF, or yes, okay, whether you, for instance, okay, might decrease the PRF. Or mainly because we can say, okay, that the PRF is not related to this frequency here, and not related to the frequency of the transducer. Now, I may ask a dumb question, but how do we increase the PRF? Or will you increase the PRF?
Is it by increasing the pulse duration? No,
No.
okay.
Okay. How do we increase the PRF? Or pulse repetition frequency? Yes, Maria?
Decrease the PRP.
Okay. So we decrease the PRP. And can I ask you, how do you do this?
Is it changing the depth? I think the depth of view.
Okay. Shaq, your answer is 50% correct because change can mean anything, right?
Increasing the depth of view.
What, Maria?
Would it be like increasing the depth of view?
Okay. You say that increasing the depth is going to increase the PRF. No, my dear. It is not going to be increasing. It's by decreasing the depth that you increase the PRF. When you decrease the depth, you decrease the PRP. And by decreasing the PRP, you increase the PRF. What was going to happen if you increase the depth? If you say yes, okay.
Increase PRP.
If you increase the depth, you mean yes, okay, send that pulse on a greater journey to go and come back. Right? What would that mean? That would mean that, okay, so it will take the pulse a greater time to go and come back. That will increase your PRP. Because there's going to be an increased period between the repetition of pulse to pulse. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And as the PRP increases, that's okay. We can mean that that's going to be as an equal and opposite change of the PRF. Which means that there's going to be as okay, what is the frequency of repetition of pulses in a certain period of time?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So would you say the PRF and the depth is inversely related? I think I'm saying it right.
Yes,
Yeah, okay, thank you.
because depth and PRP is indirectly related.
Okay.
maybe as okay goes what I should do. When you come for your test, before handing out your tests to you, I make all of you as okay run back and forth. First to the gas station, then to Dunkin' Donut, then to the highway.
I'm lazy, I can't run, sorry.
Okay, you can walk,
Okay,
but or at the end, yes, okay, you may end up crawling, but you can really says, okay, the greater the distance that you travel back and forth, the longer time is it is going to take you, right?
yeah,
That's like, okay, my dear, that's the easiest way of, okay, as figuring this out.
okay,
So you don't really have to be as, okay, Einstein or Newton or whatsoever to figure that out. You say, well, okay, yes, I'm traveling at a constant speed. The speed that we are referring to here, that we keep as a common standard, is the speed of sound in soft tissues. So that's your constant speed that you say, well, okay, I'm traveling at a speed of within the speed limits. Have any of you ever used a navigation before or GPS? What does it do? It tells you, well, okay, this many miles, right?
yeah,
Right, okay. This many miles, but then they also say, well, okay, there is a traffic jam here, there's a traffic jam there, there's a traffic jam here. Okay, but let's say, yes, okay, there's no traffic jam. They say, well, okay, yes, the distance is 60 miles from where you start your journey to, yes, okay, where you're going to end your journey, right? Clear? No traffic jam, nothing, and it's all just okay, just yes, okay, you are going to merge onto a highway, and okay, as your destination is just right off an highway. So you are allowed to travel at a speed of 60 miles. So they will say, well, okay, an hour. You will reach there in an hour. Now, if you choose a destination which is further away, let's say it's okay, 2,400 miles away, then they may say, well, okay, that's going to just okay take you this amount of time, which is going to be greater than an hour. So because you increase the distance. But you still as okay maintain that okay as same speed. So how does the navigation system does that? Mainly as okay saying, well, okay, these are the speed limits in the roads that okay as that we have put. Whereas okay, here is okay, the traffic is currently moving slow at a speed of like 20 miles per hour. So that's going to slow you down. Well, that's why I still it's okay estimated, because by the time you come to as okay where your map first showed you as okay a traffic jam, the traffic may be cleared. It may be even worse. Did that make sense?
yeah,
Okay. So here is okay. But my dear, not the pulse duration. The pulse duration has nothing to do with your PRP. Your pulse duration has nothing to, oh, well, okay, it does. But that's not really something that we can change.
okay,
Pulse duration is okay, is constant. The only thing that, what was the pulse duration? That was what we call the on time, talking time. That remains constant. The only thing that we change to is okay, change our, let's say it's okay, PRP was okay as the off time, the listening time.
okay,
How do we change that? By it's okay, changing the depth. Now, when I say it's okay, an increase in off time is going to just okay be an increase in the PRP, which means it's okay that's going to just okay be because we actually just okay had increased the depth. And we can also just okay this increase in PRP here actually will mean that we decrease the PRF. But how do we increase the PRP or how do we decrease the PRF? Mainly as okay by increasing the depth. Now, what is that we do when we increase the depth? We actually it's okay increase the time period between pulse and pulse and pulse and pulse. Where that pulse is going to have okay as a fixed pulse duration. This pulse duration is okay was determined by the transducer. Okay. Okay. So yes, okay, ladies. Reread your chapter 4. Because without understanding chapter 4, yes, okay, you may not understand chapter 7. And you can say, okay, chapter 7, what I mean is okay, just a repeat of chapter 4, just as okay in a different way. Talking about is okay, the same things, just using different terms. Because what did we call the PRP that we got introduced to in chapter 4? In chapter 7, that was just going to be okay called the go and return time or time of flight. But even as okay in chapter 4, I told you that okay, that off time, which is going to just okay increase or decrease your PRP. Actually is going to just okay be the time that the pulse will take to travel to a certain distance and come back before yes, okay, the next pulse can be produced. Did that make sense? So here is okay, whether you increase the PRP or PRF, whether you decrease the PRF, the frequency of the transducer is still going to remain the same. Because what did we say yesterday is okay, especially as okay, or a pulse wave transducer. What was going to determine your frequency? That was two things. The thickness of PCT. And okay, yes, the speed of sound in the PCT. So that's me as okay, what's going to as okay, we can say okay, set the frequency of this pulse wave transducer. Now with this same transducer, yes, okay, you can still, yes, okay, you can view at a shallow depth. Where you mainly will say, well, okay, we will have okay as a shorter PRP. Shorter duration between the repetition of a pulse to pulse to pulse to pulse. Which means okay, just because we will have a greater repetition of pulses per unit of time, or higher frequency of pulses. Yes, with the same transducer, yes, okay, you can still, yes, okay, go to, yes, okay. You have great depths. Clear? Okay. So when you increase the depth of your image, what's going to happen is, okay, the pulse repetition period will just increase, which means, okay, will just lead to a decrease in the pulse repetition frequency. But the frequency of this transducer here was still, yes, okay, we can say, yes, okay. Let's say, so, okay, 10 megahertz. What sets it, or what determines that it's going to have, okay, as a frequency of 10 megahertz? That's going to be determined by the thickness of the PCT and the speed at which the sound travels through that PCT. Whereas, okay, as far as, okay, as your PRP and PRF is concerned, that is all just, okay, set by depth. We just adjust the depth or change the depth of our image. Which means, okay, cause of the pulse is, okay, travel a shorter distance when we need shorter time to go and come back. Which may mean that will be able to just, okay, make a greater number of trips in a unit of time or per second. And vice versa. How did we determine, or how do we calculate the PRP? That was just going to be as, okay, the depth multiplied by 13 microseconds. Any questions, girls? Right, okay. So you see, it's better to give a wrong answer and get corrected rather than continuing on with, okay, that's a wrong concept because you kept your mouth shut in the first place.
Yes.
Okay. My goal here is not to, yes, okay, to humiliate you. It's better to get humiliated now and get corrected than to, yes, okay, continue on with a wrong concept. Yeah, because it's not everything that's going to, yes, okay, we directly mention in the book. It is written there, but for that you have to read between the lines. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, check question 14, girls. That's okay, a little bit too soon. That's something that we'll talk more. It's going to be more clear when we do chapter and 9, 10, or something like that. Okay. So question 14, sorry. The diameter of the active element, blah, 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 so. Okay. Okay, let's see question 15. Okay, now if the frequency of the electrical excitation voltage of a continuous wave transducer is 6 megahertz, this operating this, okay, frequency of the transducer is 6 megahertz. So what they mainly say here is this is, you can say, is okay, the electrical excitation. And it has, okay, as it had a frequency of 6 megahertz. And then the mean is, okay, just say, is the frequency of our transducer here also going to be as, okay, 6 megahertz? But the thing that made us, okay, makes a difference in this and the previous question, right? You still have the same numbers. Is that here to say this is a continuous wave transducer. So in this case here, okay, that's going to be true. Did that make sense? Did that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Now, girls, please keep in mind, you may not be as, okay, given this here as, okay, expressed in megahertz, or this here expressed in megahertz. They may say as, okay, what if you say as, okay, 6,000 kilohertz. But my dear girl, 6,000 kilohertz is still 6 megahertz. Clear? Or they may say, okay, 0.006 gigahertz. That is still 6 megahertz. Did you girls get that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so don't say, Mike, but this says gigahertz. Well, okay, yes, but it also is, okay, a quite smaller number. It says kilohertz. Well, okay, if you do the math, these 6,000 kilohertz actually becomes a mega. Okay. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, but then again, it's okay, be watchful because it may still say it's okay 0.0, or it may say it's okay this, but I may be as mean and go like this. Then okay, as this is not 6,000 kilohertz. That just becomes 600 kilohertz, which is not a 6 megahertz. Okay. So yes, okay, girls, be watchful. But they can also ask you the other way and says, okay, there's okay as an electrical excitation. Frequency of okay 6 megahertz for a continuous wave transducer. What is going to be the frequency of the transducer? Okay. Now you may say, well, okay, of course it's going to be 6 megahertz, but you don't have the answer 6 megahertz in your answer in directly written. Then you can mainly say, okay, any of these here would be the same as 6 megahertz. Okay, you may still have, okay, yes, or you may have, okay, as 6 megahertz as an answer. But then if you don't look closer and say, okay, yes, this is also 6 megahertz, this is also 6 megahertz, then okay, you can say, okay, your answer will be ABC. Right, okay. Or both ABC would have been correct because says, okay, that there was an option D, which was, let's say, as okay, 0.6 megahertz. Your answers will still be ABC. D would not be the answer. So that's okay. Same thing can be asked in different ways. Here they just ask, is that true? To say that, but the same concept can be asked in different ways. But if you know the concept, well, okay, yes, no matter, yes, okay, how it's been asked, you should be able, or you will be able to just, okay, give the right answer. Did you girls get that?
Yes.
Good. Question 16. Now, what do we have as, okay, two piezoelectrical materials are made of, or piezoelectrical crystals are made up of the same material. Now we can mean says, okay, now let's just say that we have two piezoelectrical materials. We can say, okay, PCTA and PCTB. Now, girls, indirectly looking here, you say, okay, they are made up of the same material. What is the clue that we are being given in the same material here? Is that, okay, yes, speed of sound in the PCT of A is going to be equal to, yes, okay, the speed of sound in B. Did that make sense? It doesn't mention that, okay, that they have the same speeds directly. But that's when you say, okay, if it's the same material, let's say glass. So yes, okay, sound will travel through the sound, yes, okay, glass at the same speed. Okay, was it made up of, let's say, as okay, plastic, okay, then it will travel as okay, same speed. Why? Because, okay, different, same material, or yes, okay, same media, yes, okay, will have same speeds. Did that make sense? So something that we actually has, okay, cleared out in chapter number 2. As long as, okay, it is the same material, it's going to be the same speed at which the sound will travel. Here is, okay, the materials that we are talking about is the PCT. Yep. Okay. The thicker crystal will be okay, yes. I want to say the thicker crystal will make a pulsed wave transducer with a higher frequency. Now let's just say that, okay, yes, if this here was thicker, PCT, and we can say, it's okay, this one here was a thinner PCT. They mainly say, well, okay, is this fellow here is okay going to is okay make a higher frequency transducer? No. Why? Because the other thing that we said was going to is okay determine the frequency of a pulsed wave transducer was, we mean says okay that it was inversely proportional to the thickness of PCT. Which may mean that okay, as for a higher frequency transducer, we actually is okay will need a thinner or lesser thickness of PCT, which is going to be here. So mainly is okay when they chose us okay the one with the greater thickness. This greater thickness transducer here is okay is going to have a lower frequency. Did that make sense? Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And the reason all this buzz is because, okay, the transducer that they mention is, okay, as a pulse wave transducer. Okay. The thicker crystal will make a pulse wave transducer with a higher frequency. So it says, okay, pulse transducer, which means, okay, it's just going to be, they're going to be, it's okay, pulses. And not a continuous wave. I had to given us, okay, we can say it's okay, the same info about, let's say, it's okay, a continuous wave transducer. It would have been false. Because, okay, what was going to is, okay, determine the frequency of a continuous wave transducer was the frequency of the electrical signal directly. Did you girls get that? So straightforward, yes, okay, your yes, okay, concepts. So question 17, okay. Now, two piezoelectrical materials are made of the same material. Or crystals are made. So again, yes, okay, we have, because I get piezoelectrical material A or piezoelectrical material B. And they say the same thing as, okay, that both of these here is, okay, are made up of the same material, which mainly is, okay, will mean that, okay, as the speed of sound in both of these crystals here is, okay, will be the same. Did that make sense? Now they just ask us the same again as, okay, as we can say, okay, here we have a thicker crystal. We can say, okay, we may say, okay, this one here is a thinner crystal. Yeah. Okay, and the other main, yes, okay, ask us the thicker crystal will have, okay, yes, a lower frequency. Now, the reason that this here is false is because the transducer that they talk about is, okay, as a continuous wave transducer. Yeah. That this has, okay, as a lower frequency. That statement would have been true had it not been as, okay, a continuous wave transducer, but rather a pulse wave transducer. Did you girls get that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, okay. So you may say, well, okay, the same information is the same information that they are, that they give us. They ask us still about us, okay, the same thick PCG transducer. But it's okay, one they ask us, okay, the highest frequency, the other they ask, okay, as the lowest frequency. How is it false in both cases? Because in the question about question 16, that was about, it's okay, a pulse wave transducer. Here is mainly false because it's okay, the transducer that they talk about is a continuous wave transducer. Where the frequency of that transducer is not dependent upon the speed of sound in the PCC. It is not determined by the thickness of the PCC. It is mainly as, okay, determined by, okay, what is the frequency of the electrical signal. Did that make sense? So that's okay. The first side is okay. These two questions here is okay, may look alike. Because they ask for the same thing. It's okay, they ask for the opposite thing, but anyways, higher frequency or lower frequency. But how is it false in both instances? Because in one case, they're talking about the pulsed wave, and in the other case is the continuous wave. So like question number 18 said, or 17, had that said a pulsed wave transducer rather than continuous, then it would have been true. Because the thicker the PCT, the higher the frequency. Because the thickness of your PCT was inversely proportional to the frequency. I mean, because the thickness of your PCT is directly proportional to the wavelength, which is inversely proportional to frequency. Do you guys mind take a short break? And then we continue?
Yeah,
You mind? Then we can continue.
no, we can take a break.
Okay, see you guys, should I say 10:35, okay?
Okay.
AKK. Okay, Goldies, welcome back. So let's just see if we are able to continue. Question 19. Now, what does it say here is, okay, as the impedance of, okay, as a transducer's active element. Now, go just keep in mind, as I said, active element, that's just, okay, as another name for your PCT. Here. Okay, and the main is as, okay, that, okay, as its impedance is, okay, as 1.9 megarails. Okay. And the impedance of skin is, okay, we have skin which has an impedance of 1.4 megarails. Clear? Did that make sense? Right, okay. So the main is just asking us, okay, where is going to be as, okay, the acceptable impedance, or yes, okay, the matching layer. Okay, now again, yes, okay, as we just said, that as far as the impedance was concerned, it was greater in the PCT, which are going to be as, okay, greater than skin. But the impedance of the matching layer is still be greater than skin, but lesser than that of the PCT. Maybe here, okay, as we says, okay, we had an impedance of 1.9 megarails. Here we had an impedance of, sorry, for skin it says 1.4 megarails. So the main number that we need to choose here is any number that's going to just, okay, be lesser than 1.9 but greater than 1.4. Yeah, okay. So A cannot be the answer because A is even lesser than 1.4, okay, which is 1.2. It can't be B either because here's okay, that's the same as 1.4. Okay, so the match is okay. The impedance of matching the and skin are not going to be equal. Clear? Okay. C, well, okay, yes, that is lesser than 1.9 and it is greater than 1.4. And D is actually just okay, greater than 1.9. So C is the correct answer, which means okay, it's just okay as 1.726. That's okay. Kiloradians, fine, okay. Oh, I mean, that's fine, megaradians, fine.
I have
Is
a
that clear?
question.
Yes, my dear.
So when we see active element, do we automatically should know that they're talking about the PCT?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, okay. My dear, I told you, and that's what you're going to, yes, okay, starting to be doing is that, okay, as something, yes, okay, may be known by more than one term. Okay, so we say, yes, okay, it was, okay, as a piezoelectrical material. Now, the piezoelectrical material of the transducers is PZT. Now, PZT, my dear, actually is okay, was just a abbreviation of lead zirconate titanate. Clear? Taken from the symbols now. The symbol for lead is Pb. Because the chemical name for lead is plumbum. So which has the symbol Pb. But the main is okay, just took off the P or B, and main is okay, just continue on with B or P. Z for zirconate and T for titanate. But then now it's okay, PZT is also as okay going to be referred to as the active element. Or in some cases, okay, they may not even use the word active and they would just say it's okay, the element. Clear? They may, it's okay, even it's okay, call this here is okay, a crystal. Okay, so this active element and or crystal are made as okay going to be terms that is going to as okay be used in upcoming chapters. But whenever they talk about it, they are still referring to yes, okay, your PCT. Did that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Right, okay. So yes, okay. It is going to, yes, okay, you are going to, yes, okay, start seeing that, okay, as something, yes, okay, just mention, okay, we say, okay, PCT, but it may be known as this, it may be known as this, it may be known as something else. So it's okay, something, yes, okay, is going to have more than one term that relates to it. Yeah. So you might go and say, okay, be thrown off by the fact that, okay, it says active element. But I mean, it's okay, just translate active element into PCT or active element into crystal or active element into, yes, okay, piezoelectrical material. But the main thing is, okay, that's one thing. The other thing is, okay, is that they also want you, is okay, just to check you. Do you, is okay, know their impedances? If it goes in this direction, it's okay, the impedance decreases. So me as okay saying, well, okay, this was the impedance of the PCT. This was the impedance of skin. So what we may is okay, we'll need to have okay as an impedance of okay as your matching layer, which is lesser than okay as that of the PCT, but greater than the skin. The same question here could have been asked, okay, so okay, this is the impedance of your PCT. This is the impedance of the skin. What is going to be as okay a suitable impedance for instance, okay, your gel. It could still have been this number. Because the only thing that you need to know is okay, as it has to be as okay, lesser than PCT and greater than skin. Did that make sense? Okay, so here is okay, not just here. Whenever you see the word active element, it will be referring to the PCT, also known as crystal. So you will, yes, okay, come across that. And that's going to become more and more and more common as we proceed through, or as a matter of fact, on the right next chapter, yes, okay, there are going to be, yes, okay, things which are going to go under more than one term. So that's just what you have to get used to. Because they may not use the primary commonly known term in the question. And that way, it's okay, just try to throw you off. Okay. But they will fail at doing so if you know that, okay, as for instance, okay, PCT will also is okay, what we call the active element. Or even if they check out the word active, it's okay, just say element, it will still be your PCT. This was also going to is okay, be known as your crystals. And then it's just another concept. Now you see here, which of the following crystals? Now what should you get from the term crystal? I just said it. What that mainly mean? PCT. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Right, okay. Will produce sound with the lowest frequencies. So yes, okay, mainly it's okay, they most likely have given you okay, what's characteristics of different crystals, but what they may is okay, ask us, okay, which of these PCTs here is okay, will create the lowest frequencies. Right, okay. Now what are they giving us? Okay, they say okay, thin with low speed, thin with high speed, thick with low speed, thick with high speed. So maybe that's okay, just our relationship that we discussed yesterday. So you mean okay, what were the things that okay were related to yes, okay, is okay, pertaining to your PCT or crystal that determine yes, okay, the frequency. And here what we are looking for here is going to be yes, okay, low frequency. We mainly said okay, it was going to be one was the speed of sound. Right, okay. And the other one was going to be as okay, thickness. Now we said that speed of sound was directly proportional to the frequency. So that mainly means that okay, we will need to look for the one with a low speed of sound because that will give us okay as a low frequency. Whereas we say is okay, the thickness of your PCT was inversely proportional to the frequency. which mainly will mean that, okay, yes, at greater thickness. Clear? Whereas, okay, they asked us the opposite. Which of these PCTs here will give us, okay, as a high frequency? Then it will be as, okay, the one with the great speed. Okay, yes, okay, PCT made of a material is okay, which had a great speed. Or whereas, okay, the PCT was thinner. PCT, crystal, active element, whichever name they want to call it. So this is mainly as, okay, just asking of a the concept for points that we did, yes, okay, yesterday. Did you girls get that? Question 21. Now, which type of transducer has a greater Q factor? So they're asking, they mean is, okay, giving us two transducers, but says, okay, which of these two transducers here have a great Q factor? And okay, as I said earlier, I have been saying a long time ago, ever since then. Right, okay, here they say it's okay, therapeutic. And then the other is going to be as, okay, imaging. Now, girls, if you don't know that, okay, the therapeutic transducer here is, okay, was I there or call is, okay, a continuous wave transducer. And the imaging actually is, okay, was a pulse wave transducer. You'll be lost. Whereas you may say, okay, now this one here, sorry, has no backing material. Whereas this one here has backing material. So that's mainly going to be as, okay, what we can call it as, okay, the determining factor. Backing material, no backing material. Now what we know was the consequence of, okay, as a backing material was, okay, as a low quality factor. So that means that we're going to be the one which doesn't have backing material, which will have a high quality factor. But if you don't know that, okay, the therapeutic transducer is also, okay, what goes under the name of, okay, as a continuous wave transducer, then again, yes, okay, you are lost. And that's why it's okay, I started talking about is, okay, using the word therapeutic transducer to, yes, okay, to reference of a continuous wave transducer as early as, okay, as chapter 4 or 5. It says, okay, therapeutic is going to be continuous, which means or mean that, okay, as this is going to be non-pulsing. So a continuous wave transducer can also be referred to as a non-pulsing. Or you can say, well, okay, it is not firing off in pulses, which means, okay, it would mean that, okay, it would not have had off times. So if something doesn't have off time, what is that going to be then? Continues, right? Did that make sense? So that's what you call, yes, okay, reading between the lines. Girls whose cameras are off, keep them on or you'll be marked absent. Did that make sense? So you may not see the word as okay, non-pulsing in your text, but that's where it will be. Any questions? Any questions, girls?
No.
Good. Now we just go here again and say, okay, question 22. Yes, okay. Now, which of the following, which type of transducer has a greater bandwidth? Okay, so let me, yes, okay, says, okay, greater bandwidth. And again, yes, okay, just different names again. Okay, is it a continuous wave or is it going to be as okay and imaging? Now again, yes, okay, you should just know this one here. He or she has a backing material, whereas this one here has no backing material. And one of the effects or consequences of backing material is a great bandwidth. So that's the one. Did you ladies get that?
Yes.
Had they asked about which of these two here will have a narrower bandwidth, don't get about a narrower bandwidth or no bandwidth at all. Oh, no, not no at all. Okay, narrower bandwidth is going to yes, okay, because we have no backing material. So we're having a continuous wave. Question 23. Which of the following transducer has more backing material? Therapeutic and imaging. And again, it's okay to go. It's okay, therapeutic. And okay, yes, they go imaging. Clear, and which has more backing material? Well, therapeutic has no backing material. So even if an imaging transducer had less backing material, something is still better than nothing. Right, okay. If I place two boxes on a table and say, okay, choose one. Okay, but I already told you the rule of the game. That's okay. One box may hold, that's okay, 25 cents. And the other box holds nothing. You say, okay, let me just hope that I pick the one with 25 cents. Because that 25 cents is still something which is going to be better than nothing, right? Okay, so no backing material, that's okay. Least amount of backing material is always, that's okay, at least better than no backing material at all. Did that make sense? Now question 24. In an imaging transducer, what is the purpose of attaching backing material to the PCC? So again, yes, okay, just another way of asking us, okay, what is the consequence? As the book is, okay, of the backing material. Here. Now look here, girls. One is that they say it's okay to increase the bandwidth. Okay, we can say that's correct. You may even go and say it's okay. On the other hand, it's okay, decrease the quality factor. Well, okay, that is also correct. Then it goes and says, okay, improve image quality. And last is going to be as okay. Decrease the sensitivity. Okay. Now you can mainly say it's okay that all these three here are okay as the direct consequences of okay as adding a backing material. But the actual thing and that's okay as this word here may not be the best. It should have been resolution. Clear? Okay, somehow it's okay, they choose this one here as the answer. I would use the word resolution rather than quality. Because, okay, you can still have, okay, as a picture of a good quality, but with a bad resolution. Because resolution doesn't mean quality. Okay, so that's okay. Question 25. A pulse wave transducer has a resonant frequency of 5 megahertz. Here. Now the lowest frequency of a pulse is 2 megahertz and the highest frequency is 8 megahertz. So that's okay, the highest is 8 megahertz. And the lowest frequency is, the lowest frequency is 2 megahertz. Now again, go, that's okay, and that's what I said just read. Your resonant frequency, that was mainly as okay, where we also could call the main frequency. Clear? Now, what the main is okay, just ask us in this question here is okay, what is the bandwidth? So it's okay, since they are asking us about bandwidth, you can mean it says okay, this information here is pretty much okay as really not something that we need to know. It means okay, just surplus information that may is okay throw you off the bus. Because the main thing that we needed to calculate the bandwidth was mainly, that's okay, just that's okay. 2 subtracted from 8. So our bandwidth here was going to become 6 megahertz. Did that make sense? Did that make sense? Did that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, question 26. Now, for the transducer described in question 25. Okay. That's why. Okay. It says, okay, now what is the main frequency? And okay, go, yes, okay, your main frequency was main, yes, okay, given in the question itself, just under another name. Resonant frequency. So that's why I say, yes, okay. If you didn't knew it, you could be looking at that question from now till doomsday and say, what the is a main resonant frequency, or what is a main frequency? It's just the same thing as your resonant frequency. So that's going to be associated this fellow here. You don't need to do any calculations or additions or subtractions or divisions or whatsoever. Did that make sense? So that's okay. Your main frequency, which is the resonant frequency, is going to be the same right off the question. Now, when we go to question 27. And again, it's okay, the transducer described in the question 25, which had a main frequency, or what we call it, okay, a resonant frequency of 5 megahertz. And okay, we have already, okay, calculated the bandwidth to be 6 megahertz. And now as they're asking us, okay, what is the Q factor? What's the Q factor of this transducer? Yeah, and we may, okay, say, okay, what do we need? We may, okay, just need the main frequency. And what are we going to do with that? We're just going to divide that by the bandwidth. What was your main frequency or resonant frequency? That was 5 megahertz. Clear? And we may just, okay, just divide that by. That's okay, the bandwidth, which was 6 megahertz. So roughly speaking, as okay, what we would have here is going to is okay 0.8 megahertz or 0.8. Okay. And just remember, go, that's okay, your Q factor that is unitless. Okay. So that's the answer of your Q factor. Any questions?
No.
So those were your questions at the end of the chapter. Now let's just try to go back to, yes, okay, no, it's okay, back. Let's just try to go, it's okay, to the exam review. and look at our questions. You know, where do you find the exam review questions? You find that on page 481. So let's go there. No, sorry, page 481, sorry. Yeah, okay, it's going to, yes, okay, starting from question 275. Sorry. Do everybody have their books? So go to page 481, question 275. Now, girls, what they are asking us here is which component of an ultrasound system is made up of lead, zirconate, titanate. And you actually see, yes, okay, the abbreviation for, yes, okay, lead, zirconate, titanate, which is PZT. And the mean is, okay, said, are of all the components of our system, yes, okay, transducer, what was made up of lead, zirconate, titanate. And that was, okay, yes, our active element. Right, okay, I may have said, as okay, which of the following components of the system is going to be as okay, the piezoelectrical material. It is still going to be as okay, your active element. Or they may ask which of the following is the crystal. It is still your active element. Did that make sense? Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how thick is the active element? And again, yes, okay, what do we mean by active element? That's going to be, okay, the PCT. Yeah, and what the mean is, okay, just asking us, okay, about the PCT's thickness. Yeah, okay. So what is going to be, okay, the PCT thickness of a 3 megahertz. Frequency transducer. Clear? Okay, now the options that we have is just okay, 1.54 millimeters or 0.51 millimeter or half the wavelength of the sound wave in the PCT or 1/4 of the wavelength of the sound in the matching layer. Now, what we mainly said, okay, yes, the thickness of your PCT was equal to half your wavelength. Is that clear? Right, okay. And that's pretty much okay as where they is okay put in. You can say it's okay, option B to throw you around. where, okay, as option B was, okay, 0.51 millimeter. That is going to be as, okay, the wavelength of a 3 megahertz frequency transducer. Where we dipped in temperature 3. But that's not what they're asking you here. Okay. So the only thing that you needed to remember was that, okay, as the thickness of your PCT is going to be half the size of the wavelength. Now we can say here is, okay, if they have given us, okay, a number which was going to be half of this, which could have been as, okay, 0.25. And that would have been as, okay, millimeters. That would have been as, okay, the thickness of the PCT of a 3 megahertz transducer. Yeah. Okay. So be watchful for, yes, okay, what the questions ask you about. And again, yes, okay, what options you have been given. Clear. So you actually, yes, okay, two, yes, okay, determine the thickness of, yes, okay, the PCT. Didn't really need this info. Usually means that it's just going to be, yes, okay, half the wavelength of the options. Question number 277. And they just again is, okay, asking us, is this thing here true or false? So the purpose of backing material of an ultrasound transducer is to shorten the pulse, thereby creating clear images of better quality. And again, yes, okay, the word better quality is not correct. It's going to be, okay, better resolution. But pretty much, okay, yes, that's why, because what is going to happen as a result of your backing material or more backing material, you will have a shorter pulse. Clear? And what that shorter pulse is going to give us is going to be, as okay, what we'll call as, okay, a better resolution. It's actually not as quality. To be more specific, is going to get, okay, give us a better, what kind of resolution is, okay, exit resolution. Because your exit resolution is going to, yes, okay, be determined by, yes, okay, how short or long your pulse is. Question 217. Now that's probably a dumb question, but let's see. Okay. So that's okay. Backing machine, that's okay, gives us shorter pulses gives us, that's okay, better resolution. Or as they say, okay, image quality. Which is probably not as, okay, the best term. Anyways. 278. The main purpose of a transducer's case are, now more than one option may be correct. Protect the patient from shock. Well, okay, you can say it's okay. If this, for instance, okay, is the casing of your transducer. It's okay, what comes in? Electrical signal. Okay, so if you directly touch on something, yes, okay, and an area, yes, okay, where the electrical signal runs, well, okay, yes. not just the patient, you will be shocked as well. To protect the patient from heat. No, not necessarily. Okay, because the patient is may start experiencing production of heat as a result of the sound energy that's going to be absorbed by the tissue. We talked about that in chapter 6. Protect the internal components of the transducer. Yes, of course. Because if your transducer was, I say, this is your backing material. Well, you have a wire. But then this is yes, your PCT. And yes, here that's have fun with this because this is your matching layer. I'll scan the patient. Okay, so there was really nothing else to hold them together. Not to talk about it, but hold them together to even protect them because you may damage by trying to attach the matching layer onto the PCT and yes, holding it together with yes, the backing material. To protect the patient from radiations. Well, here we are really not talking about radiations. Okay. So that's in ultrasound so far as we haven't found radiations. Radiations is only what we find in yes, PET scans, MRIs, and things like that. X-rays. So that's a dumb question if you want to put it that way. Now, which component of an ultrasound transducer is made up of a slab of epoxy embedded in tungsten particles? That's your backing material. Okay, that's your backing material that is made up of yes, tungsten, which is mainly just another element. Okay, where will you find that element? Well, you'll find that element on your what the hell they call it, periodic table. Okay, and this is as a pretty you can say it's harmful material. So ideally is people should not be directly exposed to that. Yeah. Question next is 280. Again, it's true or false. And I like true and false questions because one thing may turn it from being true to become false. So the characteristic of yes, impedance of acoustic gel is greater than that of the matching layer, but less than the piezoelectrical elements impedance. Okay, girls. Everything about this statement is false because what is it that they say? Is it correct to say that as gel impedance is greater than the impedance of the matching layer, right? Yeah. Okay. But at the same time, it's also lesser than as that of the piezoelectrical material. Now it's only going to this part here is that is true. that it has an impedance that is less than the PCT, but it does not have an impedance that is greater than your matching layer, rather vice versa. So I had said that, okay, it has an impedance that is, because that's okay, it would be true to say that, okay, it was going to have an impedance that was greater than skin, but lesser than that of the matching layer, or lesser than your PCT. So this part here is okay, was true, whereas this part, they say that it's greater, had an impedance that is greater than the matching layer, that is false. So even yes, okay, one word of falsehood in a statement will make it false. Did you girls get that? Did you girls get that?
Yes.
Okay. So again, yes, okay, you can see yes, okay, that table or yes, okay, list of yes, okay, your different impedances going from greater to lesser on page 3 wasn't there. Page 116. Is a must to know. Question 281. Here we go again. Now, yes, okay, the impedance of the matching layer of a transducer is 2.6 megarails. So it's okay, what do we say? It's okay, we still say it's okay. We have a matching layer, it has an impedance of 2.6 megarails. At least that's okay here, they didn't bombard us with, okay, it's a series of zeros. Clear? And we say as okay, the impedance of okay as the piezoelectrical crystals is 3.5 megarails. So yes, okay, we say PZT is 3.5 megarails. If this is assumed to be a good imaging system, okay, good. Okay, we can say, okay, what is the best estimate for the impedance of skin? That's okay to me. It's okay asking us, okay, what would be okay the impedance for the skin? Now here we don't really need to worry about okay the impedance of the PCT. The main thing that we will say, okay, we have to have an impedance that is going to be okay anything lesser than for the skin, lesser than okay as 2.6 megarails will be suitable. Clear. So you may okay just have to look for a number that is lesser than 2.6, and that is option 1, which is 1.5. 3.8 is even greater than this, so that can't be the impedance of skin. 3.4 is okay, is lesser than that of the PCT, but it's still greater than 2.6. And 2.8 is also yes, okay, still lesser than that of 3.5, but greater than 2.86. So the only one that was correct is 1.5 megarails. Did that make sense? So again, it's okay, the list on page 116 again. Okay, help me Lord, there's still talk of impedances. 281 or 282, sorry. So yes, okay, again, it's okay, true or false. Let's see. The piezoelectric crystals impedance. Okay, let's see. The piezoelectric crystal of a transducer typically has an impedance that is higher than the impedance of skin. We just said that is true. Is it true to say that, okay, yes, the impedance of PCT is greater than the impedance of skin? That can be more true than others, okay? Because what we already said, okay, that this actually is okay, is going to be 20 times the impedance of skin. Not just double, not just 10 times, but actually it's okay, 20 times greater than the impedance of skin. Did that make sense? Question number 283. Now, which of the following lists orders, or which of the following lists orders the impedances from the highest to lowest? So girls, please keep in mind that's okay, highest to lowest can also be referred to as a decreasing order, which mainly mean that, okay, as we have to go with a countdown from as okay, highest impedance to the substance with the lowest impedance. Clear? Okay. Now it can't be A because A started with the lowest, which was skin on our list. PCT, then gel, then matching layer, and then skin. Okay. Now they screw it up in the middle because, okay, matching layer has an impedance that is greater than gel. Clear? Okay. It can't be as okay option C because what does that say? Gel, then PCT, then matching layer, then skin. So it is going to is okay be PCT, matching layers, gel, and the skin. Option D. Okay. But had they asked, have they given us, as like we can say the same list, but had asked us and lowest to highest. Or that could actually has been worded as okay as an increasing order. Clear? Okay. Then option A as an apple would have been the right option. Because it starts from lowest, which is skin, then go to gel, which is higher than skin, then go to matching layer, which is higher than gel, is go to PCT, which is the highest. Did that make sense, girls? But if you know how to count from a bigger number to a smaller number, or from a small number to a bigger number, and I say, okay, can you now do a countdown? If you know that 5 is bigger, it's lesser than 6, and 4 is lesser than 5, and 3 is lesser than 4, and 2 is lesser than 3, and 1 is lesser than 2, and you know how to do a countdown. Clear? Any questions? Any questions, girls?
No.
Now, you good? Question 200 and 284. Now, what is the thickness of the matching layer of a 2 megahertz pulsed wave transducer? Now, we already answered that question in the exam review, okay? That the thickness of your PCT are going to be equal to just, okay, half the wavelength. Okay. In that previous question, the main is okay, just used okay as a 3 megahertz transducer. Here they go with okay as a 2 megahertz transducer. Clear? Okay. And main is okay because in this question is okay, they go with a 2 megahertz transducer. That's why you have option B. And what does option B say? 0.77 millimeters. Okay, but what is this 0.77 millimeters going to be? That's going to be the wavelength that this 2 megahertz transducer here will produce. How do we know that? Because we said, okay, a wavelength was okay as 1.54 divided by frequency, which here was 2. So 1.54 divided by 2 is 0.77777. Did that make sense? Have you had, let's say, it's okay, the half of 0.77? Then that would have been, yes, okay, the wavelength. But since we don't have a number which is equal to, yes, okay, the half of 0.77 as an option here, well, okay, the only thing that we can say that makes sense is that, okay, it's going to be, yes, okay, the thickness of our PCT is going to be equal to half the wavelength of the transducer. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Question 285. And again, true and false. Okay, good. The acoustic impedance of skin is greater than the acoustic impedances of both matching layer and piezoelectrical material. That is as false as anything can be. Just for false, it's double false. Because both things were false, or both just okay parts here were false. Means it's okay. The skin have an impedance that is greater than the matching layer? No. Does the skin have an impedance that is greater than the PCT? Hell no. Because this was actually okay having an impedance which was 20 times greater than skin. So clear? So it could be more false. Okay, regarding the okay, now with regard to backing material, of a pulsed wave transducer, are the following 5 statements true or false? So 286. Okay, so it's okay, or it's okay, specify the kind of transducer. Let's see if that's going to make any difference in our questions here. Okay, and its relation is okay, and we can say it's okay. The backing material. Now the damping material helps decrease the pulse repetition period achieved at a given depth of imaging. No, that is not the job of your backing material. Clear? You can say it's okay, the backing material may actually, it's okay, help us to, it's okay, determine things such as, okay, the pulse duration. And or it's okay, the spatial pulse length. Clear? Okay. But it is not going to, yes, okay, determine the, sorry, what is it that say? Pulse repetition period. Or as a matter, it's okay, even it's okay, the PRF. Okay, goes. Now, what is going to, yes, okay, determine these two things here? And okay, as another thing. Is going to, yes, okay, it's okay, the amplitude of the pulse. Which we talked about in chapter 4 or 5, right? Okay. That is going to, yes, okay, be determined. These three factors are going to be determined by a component of the ultrasound system. That will be called the pulsar. We talk about this fellow here, is okay, in chapter 14. Yeah. So that's okay, where things such as, okay, your PRP is going to be controlled. And okay, as your PRF is going to be controlled. As okay, as a result of us, it's okay, begins as okay, increasing or decreasing the depth. It's going to be your pulsar, not the backing material. Clear? So that's okay, a little tricky one. Right? So I had it say as okay. Pulsar, which most likely as okay, can be as okay a question. Okay. But then okay, as it was still as okay, it could still have been as okay false because as okay, they give okay, as you can say, it's okay, given depth. Clear? But right now, it's okay. Don't worry about the pulsar. I'm not going to be asking you about the pulsar on your test because we haven't talked about it in details. But anyways, question 287. The backing material helps to decrease the duty. Let's see, okay, the backing material helps to, yes, okay, helps to decrease the duty cycle of a particular PRF. Now go, what was the duty cycle? Duty cycle was made as okay, just another name for what we call the duty factor. Did that make sense? What made your duty factor? That was your pulse duration divided by the PRP. Clear? Okay. But what they mainly said here is okay that at a particular PRP, PRF, there you can say, okay, if the particular PRF mainly mean that you also have, okay, as a particular PRP. Clear? Okay, which means says, okay, if the PRP is okay, remains the same. What may decrease your duty factor? That's if you reduce the pulse duration. How do you reduce the pulse duration? Means okay by having a shorter pulse. What's going to give you that shorter pulse? Your backing material. Did that make sense? Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Clear? Okay. So yes, okay, the first you may say, but when the hell does PRF come into? Yes, okay. Your equation of duty factor. Well, you can say as okay, since here it is particular, which mean it doesn't change. That will mean PRP doesn't change either. So you can say, okay, since either of these doesn't change, yes, okay, we can mean says okay that we don't really change the depth. But then yes, okay, what is still going to yes, okay, cause the duty factor to be reduced, a shorter pulse. What means okay, gives us a shorter pulse. That's one of the effects of okay as backing material. You can mean says okay, transducer more backing material will produce a shorter pulse. Mainly as okay by reducing the number of cycles in the pulse. Okay. Question number 287, or 288, sorry. So yes, okay, the pulse duration is increased as a result of presence of yes, okay, backing material. We just confirmed that was not the case because we made it says okay, backing material, or we can say it's okay, more backing material if you put it that way. Actually, it's okay, will lead to yes, okay, a shorter pulse. But that shorter pulse can be highly as okay in terms of time. That means okay, a shorter pulse duration. And or as okay in shorter length. Physical length, right? Okay, which means okay, is okay, shorter spatial pulse length. Clear? Okay. So your pulse duration, or you as okay, the spatial pulse length is not going to be increased as a result of backing material. It's going to be the opposite. Did that make sense? Did that make sense, girls?
Yes.
Good. Question 289. Backing material decreases the quality factor. Quality factor, not duty factor. Yeah. And that is true. Because one of the consequences of okay having it okay backing material was that your quality factor was decreased. How? by increasing the bandwidth. Question 290. I already said that. The spatial pulse length is decreased by the application of backing material. Right. So backing material is okay, that is going to, yes, okay, actually is okay, we can say it's okay, make, or we can say, okay, shorter pulses. Whereas I said, okay, that pulse could be shorter in two terms. In terms of time, which we call pulse duration, and in length, which in this case I call it, okay, spatial pulse length. Or as we already have established from chapter 4 is that as your pulse duration is directly proportional to the spatial pulse length. Why? They both are products of OKS number of cycles. Whereas for your spatial pulse or for your pulse duration, these number of cycles is going to be multiplied by period. Whereas for your spatial pulse length is going to be multiplied by the wavelength. Where we already know from a previous chapter, before chapter 4, that period and as your wavelength were directly proportional. Okay. So what causes, or what do we get? We actually is from backing material, or from the PCT. Yes, that will produce shorter pulse duration by shorter wavelengths, lower period, and so on. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. Question 291. Now assume that the frequency of a sound with the greatest power emitted by a transducer is 5 megahertz. Now this was mainly as they may as it says greatest power. Clear. But that's why I say greatest power is going to be as stronger sound. Where do you have the strongest sound? When it was resonant. Which was as what in this case that's what was the main frequency. Clear. The example I gave is those soldiers is hit in the ground is with their boots or steps at the same time. They're going to produce one single loud sound. And that's because their steps are resonant. So this is me as just a different way of saying that this here is going to be as our main frequency, or it's the resonant frequency. However, The pulse contains acoustic frequency or acoustic energy with frequency as low as 3.5. So yes, okay, can says okay, there are lower frequency is going to yes, okay, be 3.5 megahertz. And as high as 6.5 megahertz. Okay. Now, what is the bandwidth of the transducer? So again, yes, okay, this is asking what is the bandwidth. So again, we actually, that's okay for this, didn't really need the resonant frequency, or you can say the main frequency in this case here. Because, okay, what do we need to get the bandwidth? We mean it's okay, just need to. It's okay, say that we have 3.5 megahertz. That is going to just okay be subtracted from 6.5 megahertz. Okay. And if you have $6.50 and use $3.50, you are left with 3. The bandwidth is going to be okay, be 3 megahertz. Clear? Okay. Did that make sense? Okay. Now, the same question is okay if they ask you, okay, where is your, or the same is okay if they ask you, okay, what's going to be the Q factor of this fellow? Now, to get the Q factor, you first have to, yes, okay, calculate your bandwidth. But then after that, you may, it's okay, just go and say, well, okay, that's going to be, it's okay, 5 divided by 3. Okay. So whatever that comes out to, it's going to be approximated, okay, 2.75, something like that. Or 0.275. Roughly speaking. Did you girls get that?
Yes.
Good. Okay, girls. Let me just ask. Are you girls good that we continue and you get an ED or ER?
Yes.
Yes.
So if we just continue on and I say, okay, we can finish the class whenever it finishes. Okay. Hopefully it won't be more than, okay, yes, 45 minutes or an hour. That's the most. True or false? In general, okay, good. Generally speaking, ultrasound imaging transducers have low quality factor and wider bandwidth than therapeutic ultrasound transducers. So is it correct to say that, okay, yes, that an imaging transducer versus a therapeutic transducer is going to have a greater bandwidth and a lower quality factor, which may mean that, okay, as your therapeutic transducer will have a great lower, okay, bandwidth and a greater quality factor. Is that true? Of course it is. Okay, girls. But be watchful. Be watchful about it, okay, which is greater, which is lower. Because it could have been the same thing as, okay, is it true to say that, okay, as an imaging transducer has a greater bandwidth and a lower quality factor? And or if it said greater sensitivity than a therapeutic transducer. No, then all of a sudden, yes, okay, it becomes false. This thing had made it false, right? Did that make sense? Or even if it had said that this was lower, and then you had, okay, a lower quality factor. Okay. Both of them can't be low. If one is low, the other one has to be high. But even if it had said, okay, this, and okay, still had said, okay, it's a reduced sensitivity, it would still have been false because of this. Or if it still says, okay, a great quality factor, but okay, it's a great bandwidth, but also it's okay, a great quality factor. That also have made it false. So watch out. Okay, girls? Watch out. Question 293. Damping material is secured to the piezoelectrical material during a process of fabrication of the ultrasound imaging transducer. Which of the following is not a consequence of this attachment? So again, yes, okay, girls, just is okay, talking about, okay, what is the consequences of backing material? Like, okay, having a backing material is a punishment? No. Okay. So, okay, yes, it's going to just, okay, increase the bandwidth. That is option E. Quality factor is reduced, which is your option B. Sensitivity is increased, which is option C. And okay, yes, the transducer case is longer. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Of transducer. No, not really. You may have smaller transducers which still will have backing material. So this one here is irrelevant. But you can mean says, okay, what happens when we just use a backing material? Well, this was true, but this one here was not. And they're asking us which of the following is not a consequence of adding backing material. Increasing the sensitivity is not a consequence of adding the backing material. So again, it's okay, make sure that you watch out for this is increased versus what this is decreased. Because it's very easy to choose the correct answer. If you know your material. Okay. But it's okay, even if you know your material, but you don't watch out carefully, it's okay, you may choose the wrong answer. because you are trying to rush. But if you don't know the material, you can be looking at, okay, as that increasing, that decreasing forever and ever and ever, still don't know. Question 294. Which of the following actions would cause the PCT crystal to lose its special properties? Okay, breaking it into pieces. Okay, I don't recommend that you hit the patient with the transducer. Okay, exposing it to high temperatures, exposing it to electrical current, exposing it to low pressures. I mean, it's okay, what we said was okay as temperatures above is okay Curie point. Or what we call is okay the Curie temperature. All going to lead to is okay what we call depolarization, which is explained here. It loses its special properties. What is the special property of OKS, the PCT? The piezoelectrical effect. Yeah. What did we mean by a piezoelectrical effect? Its ability to just okay convert one form of energy into another form. Yeah, why is exposing it to electric current not going to be the case here? Because okay, what the PCT prime is okay will receive is it receives electrical energy. So if okay, exposing it to as okay, electrical energy was going to damage it. Then okay, yes, you have to think of okay, running on ultrasound machines and other sources of energy. And not being as okay attached to an electrical socket in the wall. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Question 295. And the main says, okay, all of the following statements are true about transducer except from. So the main statement is okay that we need to is okay find out which statement here is. Which of the following statements is false. Okay, is it necessary to sterilize transducers before use? Okay. You don't sterilize the transducers. You already said it here. Why? So that's your false. But let's just look at the other ones. Most transducers simply as okay require. Most transducers okay simply require disinfection as they do not penetrate mucous membranes. What did I say yesterday? And even if they do, they will be covered up with probe covers, right? Or transducers, okay? Or some sort of covering. Sterilization could depolarize the PCT. That's what we just said. That's true as well. Okay, they are unlikely to okay transmit infection. Yes, mainly because okay, if they come across as okay mucous membranes, they are covered up with a probe. Okay, and okay, yes, if you use it on the surface of the body, is going to okay be running on the top of the surface of the skin. And what the hell was it that the skin was? What is it that your skin is? Please don't say epidermis. What is your skin?
An organ?
Okay.
The
So is your
medium?
brain, huh?
Is it the medium?
Okay. So is your muscles. So is your blood. So is pleura. So is pericardium. So is everything else.
It's a tissue? Like there's layers of tissue?
Okay. OMG. Isn't skin the first line of defense?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. What did that mean? That the first barrier that your body offers to any possible, okay, harmful material or substance or germ, exactly that wants to get into your body. It first have to take up, okay, a fight with the skin. And that's why it's okay, wounds are a source of infection, because okay, that's how it's okay, things can get underneath the skin. Aren't you? It's okay, a whole new world, right? That's when, okay, if somebody has a wound, you don't cleanse off his whole body. You mean that's okay, just wants to make sure that, okay, well, you may, but okay, as you have a special emphasis on the wound to make sure that is clean. Did that make sense? So that's okay. If you are going to scan on top of a wound, what would be a good idea to do? Still called the transducer with a probe covering. Well, at least we can say, okay, transducers do not need to get sterilized. Question 296. Now, just because we are talking ultrasound physics doesn't mean that you should forget about anatomy physiology. Okay. 296. Now, which of the following, let's say, which properties of the piezoelectrical material of a continuous wave transducer result in the highest emitted acoustic wave frequency? Oh my God. A lot of information here. So it's okay. Which properties of the piezoelectrical material or crystal? So we can say, okay, PCT's properties will lead to, yes, okay, the highest frequency of a continuous wave transducer. Now, what do we have as option? At that it is 10 and a high propagation speed, that it is thick and a slow propagation speed, that it is 10 and a slow propagation speed, or none of the above. Now goes the highest frequency. That would have been that, okay, as if we have a 10 PCT and highest speed. But that only applies for, yes, okay, a high frequency for a pulsed wave transducer. Did that make sense? Here we are not talking of a pulse wave transducer. We're talking about is okay, continuous wave transducer. We can stay as okay, just go on and say as okay. Pick. And let's say it's okay, low speed. Both these waves okay, cause okay as a low frequency, but again is okay for a continuous or for a pulse wave transducer. That's not what they're asking about here. Clear? And then they is okay, try to just okay, play around and say, okay, what if we had a 10 transducer? It had okay as a low propagation speed. Was the mixture of these two here going to give us okay as a low frequency? No. Right, okay. Because that's so we're still talking of okay as a continuous wave transducer. So that's why it's okay. Of the options here is okay, none of the above. Clear? But had it said, and instead of okay, none of the above, had it said a high frequency of electrical energy, and that would have been the option that will give us okay as a high frequency, even for us okay a continuous wave transducer. Did you guys get that? So if you didn't pay close attention, you were lost. Or you could actually just okay end up as okay paying, not paying, but I guess okay. Answer the question wrong. Although that's okay, you might have known all these relationships. But you didn't look at the fact that okay, it was talk about a continuous wave transducer. Did that make sense? Did that make sense, girls?
Yes.
Yeah.
So from one question, yes, okay, we made up 3 questions. And changed out of 4 options. Okay, this would have been an alternative. That's okay, correct answer. Yeah, right, okay. Question 297. What helps to determine the frequency of the sound produced by a transducer of a continuous wave ultrasound system? So it means, okay, yes, okay, we have a continuous wave transducer. What is going to okay, determine the frequency of the system? Don't fall for the term system here. It is mainly as okay, what we just said. So is it going to be the piezoelectric crystal diameter? No. Well, okay, yes. Possibly a little bit, yes. But that's another discussion. Piezoelectric crystal thickness. No. Piezo is okay, damping materials density. No. It's going to be as okay, the ultrasound system electronics, which will then determine as okay, the electronics is going to as okay, determine as okay, because it's okay, the electrical frequency. Or maybe that's okay because the other three options A, B, and C were not right. It could only be the last one. $2.98. Now again, yes, okay, goes with a pulsed wave ultrasound imaging. What helps to establish the primary frequency of the acoustic energy discharged by the transducer. Clear. And okay, as they pretty much okay gave us the same option as they did for question 297. And here is okay where you have to just okay know the difference between thickness versus diameter. Yeah, thickness, my dear girls, is me as okay, just going to be as okay, we can say as okay, the front to back dimension of your PCT. Whereas the diameter mean is going to be as okay, we'll say as okay or B. Either this in height and or this in width. Will be as okay the diameter of the crystal or PCT. But since yes, okay, they asked about yes, okay, the pulsed wave transducer, it is the thickness of the PCT, not the diameter. Where diameter could be as okay, either the height and or the width of the transducer. Did you girls get that?
Yes.
Clear? It can't be the damping material's density. Now you can say, okay, that density may have an effect upon the propagation speed. But yes, okay, here it's not mainly it's okay because the option C is not the right answer because it's talking about the density of your damping material. This is going to yes, okay, affect the damping, yes, okay, speed of sound in the damping material. That was now I was going to determine yes, okay, the pulsed wave transducer's frequency. That was going to be the density, the speed of sound in the PCT. Okay. Question number 299. An ultrasound pulse traveling in soft tissue. You see, we never got free from the soft tissue. We had 299 questions into the exam review and we still stuck at soft tissues. Okay. Which of the following is the most important in determining the frequency of the sound? Now it's always okay, the pulsed wave transducer. Okay, how do we know that? Because this says, okay, an ultrasound pulse. Okay, soft tissue, okay, is just additional information. Not really that's going to affect much. Okay, because what it means, okay, which is the most important is, okay, in determination, the frequency of the sound. Right, okay. So is it going to be as okay, the propagation speed of the sound and the transducer's matching layer? No. Why no? Because it says matching there. It doesn't say PCT. Had it said PCT, then okay, that could have been an option. Is that clear, girls? Thickness of the transducer's backing material. Now, as far as the thickness factor is concerned, yes, okay, that's correct. But not of the backing material, had it said PCT, yes, okay. Impedance of the transducer's matching layer. Neither does the impedance, neither does the, especially not that of the matching layer, has anything to do with or determine the frequency of your oscillator transducers. So that's why we go to the last one and say, okay, propagation speed of the transducer's active element. And Dr. Shack, when you see word active element, what should come to your mind? Dr. Brown, are you online?
Yes, I'm listening.
So if you see the word active element, what does that mean?
I know it, but it's just not coming to me right now.
It's not coming to your mouth, right? It's roaming around. Yes. Dr. Astrid, you're welcome to answer.
Isn't it PZT?
Exactly. So don't go and say, Mike, but where does it say PCT? The text has been talking as, okay, when we talked about it in the text, it says, okay, propagation speed of sound in the PCT. Well, okay, that's what it says here as well. They just changed the word PCT out with active element. Just like, okay, damping material can also be called, okay, backing material, which was a common term, could also be referred to as damping material. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. Question number 300. Now, what is the best estimate of the practice? Okay, propagation speed of ferroelectrical element of a transducer used in typical diagnostic imaging laboratory. Now, again, yes, okay, it goes. Here, what the hell do we have? We have a term that says, okay, ferroelectrical element. Now, what the hell is this ferroelectrical element? That is just says, okay, another name for your PCT. And I think it's okay, that is written on, it's okay, one of the very first pages of your chapter number 8. Or as a matter of fact, that's okay, it is written on the very first page on chapter number 8. In the yellow box that says that's okay, piezoelectrical materials. Material which converts sound into electricity and vice versa are called piezoelectric or ferroelectric. Okay. So here. Okay, so yes, okay, what is the, okay, What is the best estimate of your imaging number? Okay, that's not a value that we have here. Look, I don't recall seeing that. No, I don't recall seeing. Okay. Okay. Okay, so what is okay as of a typical pulse wave transducer? So what's the speed of sound in PCT? Now they mainly say that that's going to be okay. Anything between 4 to 6 times sound of speed in soft tissue. Now, what is the speed of sound in soft tissue? This. So that's okay, but they made it okay. Just talk about an estimate. So roughly speaking, you can say it's okay. That's going to be 4.2. Okay. Something else. What do we have? So what do we have? 1.2 millimeters. That's even less than this. Is even less than that. So I can't be that. 4 millimeter or 4 meters per second. That's too low. Okay, although it's okay, 4 is a bigger number. But then it goes as okay, meters per second. Clear? Okay. So that's still going to be as okay, a lower speed than this, because this becomes as okay 1.5 kilometer per second. 4 millimeters per microsecond. Okay, there we can say it's okay, the unit is the same. But then we go as okay, approximate, and that's why it says okay, an estimate. 4 times. Okay, so that's okay as best estimate of okay, the sound of speed in the PCT, which is ranges anything between 4 to 6 times the time of speed of sound in soft tissue. Okay. Did that make sense? Did that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Question 301. Which properties of the piezoelectrical material crystal of an imaging transducer result in the highest emitted acoustic wave frequency. So the main is okay said we have a pulse wave transducer. Okay. And okay, this pulse wave transducer's PCT's properties. Or which of these PCT properties is going to give us okay as the highest frequency. However, the two PCT properties that we were talking about when talking about is okay, frequency for a pulse wave transducer. Now, okay, it's the speed of sound in PCT. And we said the thickness of the PCT. Now, what we know about these is this one here, or the speed of sound in the PCT is going to be directly proportional to the frequency. The thickness of the PCT that is going to be inversely proportional to the frequency. Now, since we are looking for the highest frequency, we made it okay, we need to okay, say greatest speed and least thickness. Or lesser thickness. Yeah, please keep in mind, go, yes, okay, lesser thickness can also, as okay, be referred to as thinner or thinnest, right? Okay. But we may says, okay, if you have a thin PCT, yes, and a high propagation speed, yes. Option A is the right answer. As we say, big B is always as okay, be a thick PCT. And a low speed. That will actually given us okay as a low frequency transducer. Whereas okay, we say is okay at 10 PCT. And slow speed. Well, okay. That will be a little bit, it's okay, you can say it's okay, difficult to determine. Yeah, so highest frequency is going to be as okay, you can say the highest speed of sound in the PCT. And lesser thickness. Or is okay, you can say the more thin the PCT is, the better. We go to manslaughter. Okay, you are asked to fabricate a pulse wave ultrasound transducer with the highest possible frequency. Which piezoelectrical crystals would you choose? Clear. So what is it that we are looking for? We are mainly as okay, looking to yes, okay, create a frequency or transducer with the highest frequency. So which piezoelectrical material will you use? And again goes as okay, that's why I keep on saying, make sure that you know the difference between thickness versus diameter. Because our Archimedes, okay, will say that it's not going to be the diameter of the transducer that will have the determining effect. You may just okay, just need to look at the thickness. So you actually is okay, can just disregard the diameters. Benjamin says, okay, for the highest frequency or Vimanius, okay, just still we need is okay as the one with the greatest speed. And okay, yes, with the lowest thickness. Yeah, so we say it's okay, 6 millimeters thick. And okay, has a propagation speed of 4 millimeters per microsecond. And don't look at the diameter because that is going to me, it's okay, just irrelevant. Okay, but the mean is okay, put there, so yes, okay, you may choose the wrong one. Because you say, okay, it's going to be the one that with the biggest diameter. That would be the right answer. Yeah. Then they go, yes, okay, 8 millimeters thick. And okay, yes, a speed of 2 millimeters per microsecond. Okay, let's see what else do we have. Next is 4 millimeters thick. And 5 millimeters millimeters per microsecond speed. And last is 2 millimeters thick. And 6 millimeters per microsecond. So we can make it okay, just go on with the first one and say, okay, what do we need? Well, okay, we need one with, okay, as the least thickness. Which is D. And even as okay, when we look at the speeds, that's also going to be the one which has the greatest speed. So the one with the lowest thickness and the greatest speed, this will be the one that gives us, okay, as the highest frequency. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Question number 303. If you use a 303, yes, okay, you will commit manslaughter. That's a deadly round. Okay, now you're asked to fabricate a pulsed ultrasound transducer with the lowest possible frequency. Which piezoelectrical material would you be using? And it's pretty much okay, the same numbers that we have here. And again, as I said, well, okay, you don't really need to look at the diameter. Okay, those numbers I mean is okay, just there to throw you off. But what we mean is okay, now are looking for is the lowest frequency. That lowest frequency is going to be as okay, the lowest speed and the greatest thickness. Now we can mean is okay, just start off with one and say, okay, which of all these you have the greatest thickness? That would be this one here. And okay, as out of all of them, that's also going to be the one that has the lowest speed. So option B would have been yes, okay, the answer for question 3, not 3. Yeah. Let us just assume that okay, the values had been as okay, that okay, as we can say as okay, B and C. Sorry. Both had okay, as sorry, that's going to be another minus. Okay, let's say it's okay, 8 millimeters of thickness. And they had asked us, okay, which of these two here then? Which of all these here is okay, well, give me as okay, let's say first greatest frequency. Now, since they both have as okay, are these two here, or least frequency, sorry, because that's okay. It says okay, we can say these two have the greatest thickness, right, of all the ones. Okay. But then this one here would have the lowest frequency. Okay, whereas okay, if they're just giving us, let's say it's okay, there's these, no, so there's these two here. And say, okay, which of these two here has the highest frequency? Now since it's okay, the thickness are the same, but the different speeds here is okay, greater speed will be greater frequency. So something like that. Okay. But okay, in these answers, that's okay, do not get distracted by the numbers of the diameter. Because you chose the diameter, then you could say it's okay. For question C, you might have chosen option. Or for question B, you might have chosen option B, because that was the one that had the greatest diameter. Clear. Whereas for question 302, you might have chosen option B, because that had the lowest diameter. If that makes sense. So that's how you should be looking at questions. That is how you say, okay, this is info that I can use. And this is just info that has just been given there. Just okay, try to just okay, make me look at okay, the wrong things to establish the relationships. Right? These last two questions here were lethal because they gave you okay, the wrong info, not the diameters. Any last word of wisdom? Okay. So yes, okay, girls. You will need to start looking at chapter number 6 and chapter 7 and chapter 8 for your quiz. Okay. So that's okay for the next week, or that's okay, upcoming couple of days, that's okay. You may have okay as random brainstorms or somanis. Yeah. Just because I talk about yes, okay, the word frequency, all of a sudden, yes, okay, I may go, well, where did frequency become relevant in, okay, yes, chapter 6? Was it relevant in chapter 7? Was it relevant in chapter 8? How and why and what's and whys and all those crazy things. Whatever pops into my skull or into my intracephalic material at that point, yes, okay, you will be boomed. Okay. So yes, okay, it's not really a weather to go out in anyways, so enjoy it indoors. And you have a nice green book to look at. Okay. It may not be the grass in the other part of the yard, but okay, yes, it's still green. So I will see you girls on Monday. Monday is not a holiday, right? Okay, good. Yeah, somebody is holding their hair saying, oh, had it just been on holiday. Okay, girls, have fun.
I'll see you. Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. Take care.